Hello, I'm Jörg Friedrich. I'm a design director at Jaeger. You're watching Eurogamer.
Greetings gamers, Ian Hickton from Oh, Jesus Christ, that scared me. Stupid zombie. Hope you enjoyed that face full of electrified buckshot. While at this year's Gamescom, I managed to get a hands-on with the alpha build of Dead Island 2, which you can see running in this gameplay footage right here. Dead Island 2 is the current gen installment of the scruffy but strangely lovable zombie-kicking franchise, but this time there is a new team pulling the strings, Jaeger Development of Spec Ops: The Line fame. So I took my chances, fought my way through a zombie horde or two, and cornered design director Jörg Friedrich so I could ask him about what kind of changes and improvements they would be bringing to the table now they were holding the reins of Dead Island 2.
Another one bites the dust.
Main thing is still actually focusing it on the multiplayer part. That was the biggest step, I would say, and that's what we bring to the table. And we also I think we adjusted the mood to something that fits what players are doing very well. I want to put it like that. So basically, when we started working on the game, we just did Spec Ops, and then that cinematic trailer of Dead Island 1 was out, and everybody was watching Walking Dead, so we all thought oh my god, we're gonna do the most dark, sad, and depressing zombie game ever. And then we started looking at the gameplay, and we started looking at what people actually loved about the first Dead Island game. And if you looked at YouTube, at Twitch, or whatever the players were doing, somehow they were never posting these story moments. They were actually, doing over-the-top zombie action, luring zombies together, blowing them up, and having fun. So we thought, that's the thing. So let's give the game a setting where this actually makes sense. Give it a mood where it makes sense. So our heroes are not these. They don't try to escape. They're exactly where they want to be. They're in zombie-infested California because they're really, really good at killing zombies, and that's what they do best. And they're immune, so there's no, they can help others. That's why they're there. And I think that just fits on what players are doing. So there's not this disconnect.
Now, not only is there a brand new team working on Dead Island 2, but there is also a whole new console generation for you guys to build it on. What will this new tech add to the series?
I mean, you're going to see a lot of detail, you're going to see a huge amount of zombies running around, but I think one of the interesting part, at least for me, from the creative side, is still having the possibility to have seamless multiplayer, because that wasn't so easy on the old consoles. But now, with Xbox One running virtual machines on many servers at the same time, and having the possibility to have, dedicated servers running very easily and distribute them to consoles as well, that is an option that's just super cool. And we thought, hey, we should use that.
Seamless multiplayer, eh? Sounds good, but how does that actually work?
Basically, you start the game, and you run around in the world, and you will meet other players. At no point you have to go into a server list or you go to in a menu. Basically, as soon as you play, there are other players around, and you share the world with them. If your friends are online, you will most likely be with your friends. We will try to match that up, but otherwise there will be other people.
So Jörg, let's talk about the zombie types. What kind of Zeds can we expect to be dismembering over there in sunny California?
We're gonna have, all that you expect. So there's gonna be the normal walkers that you meet most of the time. They're gonna be the slow and rotten shamblers that are old and rotten, almost look like skeletons. There are runners, those are the fresh ones. They really hunt you down, they're fast, they're super dangerous. And then there's going to be specials. Two of them you might have met at the demo already. One is the big dude, likes to live in electronic markets, eats batteries. And then there is the suicider, who enjoys living in gas stations because he probably eats fuel. We don't know exactly, but actually he explodes when he comes close. And there's more to come.
Sometimes I impress myself.
Will there be kind of gigantic boss zombies as well?
Gigantic ones.
I guess you can't go into them in...
No, not so much. Unfortunately.
Right, let's talk about the weapon upgrading. In the last few games, it was a massive part of the overall experience.
Yes, and it still is. It still is. You basically collect loot, you're looking for resources, you're finding blueprints, and then you add and build your awesome dedicated zombie killer that you love to. We try to make it a little bit more easy because some of the things, we try to make everything so that you can keep playing together. Because what happened in the old game sometimes was basically we were running around, you and me, slashing zombies, and then I said, I found a new upgrade. I need to go to a workbench. And then you were looking for a workbench, and you had to wait for me, and that was kind of, and we thought, hey, let's make this easier. So you still need to craft it, so it's not like in the demo where it just happens automatically. You still need to go to a menu and say like, I want this and this and this and that, and like, zoom, and then you have it. But you can do that at the spot. However, since it's a multiplayer game, while, say, I want to craft my weapon, I need a backup, right? I need you to watch out for me. So we turned actually what was a single-player moment into something where you embrace, there's another player around, he can watch out for me while I craft my weapon right here.
One of the things that I really liked was using the mallet to kind of launch the zombies into the air. You see like a trail of blood through the air.
Yes. Did you do it with the burning sledgehammer?
No.
That's the best, because then it's basically a blood and fire trail.
Oh, no.
It's awesome, and when it lands, it sets everything on fire. Super cool.
That does sound super cool. How important has it been then to get creative attacks like that in there? Have you gone out of your way to create spectacular ways to dispatch the undead?
Yes, very important. I mean that's the core of the game, right? That's what you do all the time. It's basically, we need to get creative because that's just what you do all the time. If that would be boring, that would be terrible.
I've also heard whisperings about special events in the game, events that will change the way the game is played in a rather unique way that's new to the series.
Imagine you and me are playing, and we're playing cooperatively, and we're having lots of fun, and then at the horizon we see a chopper coming down, and we know this chopper basically has a huge treasure on board, always. It's like massive loot. But around the chopper, there is a PvP area. So when we two approach it, and then at one point, like we say, and only one can have the treasure. So I say, you're cool, buddy, but you know what? I hit you in the head now, because I want to have the treasure. So it's basically, it's competing. It's like short moments of competing, rather than building true competitive modes. We're not having match-based PvP where both teams start at the same time and then they play for points or they kill each other. You compete for a reward for a short amount of time, and then afterwards you keep on playing together and having fun.
The section I played was set in the LA suburbs. What other locations will be available for zombie mashing mayhem?
Okay, I'm allowed to say San Francisco. Oh, yes. And there's more to come.
Oh, you big tease. So, will the game feature one huge seamless world, or will there be sections separated by loading screens?
It's gonna be like something like the LA Hollywood area, which is going to be much bigger than what you saw in the demo. I mean, that was already blocked off. You played a little part of that, and that would be free. So it's basically, you could within this area, which is roughly from Hollywood sign to Venice Beach down, it's all one connected area without loading screens. But if you want to travel to something that's further away, that's going to have a little loading area, and then you go into the next region. That's how it works.
After spending a good 30 minutes battering zombies around the chops with an electric sledgehammer, I walked away from Dead Island 2 with a nice big grin on my face. The alpha build I played was still pretty buggy, with melee strikes and bullets often not registering as hitting the zombies, but when they did connect, that familiar Dead Island feeling of clobbering an undead came rushing back. It's still big dumb fun, it's still all about finding the biggest and bestest weapons and then running around and twatting things with them, but it seems like Jaeger will be adding a bit of polish to the series in a way that Techland just couldn't manage. While I didn't get to see or experience most of the major new changes Jaeger are bringing to the gameplay, I am intrigued by the PvP elements, and I did like the ability to craft on the fly. And the fact that the game is now played for laughs is a nice breath of fresh air. And really, I played nothing else at Gamescom that day that beat the joy of seeing a ragdolling zombie arcing through the air after I'd taken its stupid bitey jaw off with a massive heft of my sledgehammer. Majestic. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up, and as always, feel free to subscribe to this channel by clicking on that on-screen annotation if you want more exclusive interviews, early gameplay previews and interactive live streams. Goodbye!
More where that came from.